Hi, hand readers. Guys and girls, I've broken my right hand wrist. I fell over my dog. And that being said, I can't gesticulate and demonstrate in quite the way I'd love to today. Nevertheless, I'm pushing on with my weekly YouTube presentation, which I absolutely love doing. I'd like to give a quick shout out of thanks to listener Maureen, who asked me specifically to talk about the thumbs. And the thumbs being such an incredibly vast subject area of specialization in terms of hand reading, there are many factors to discuss. And in today's video, I'm going to address the question of the so-called angle of confidence, which is the level, or rather the angle at which the thumb opens from our hands. What's quite interesting about having a broken wrist, being my right hand, is that I'm learning to use my left hand. And what I'm really curious about over the coming weeks is whether the lines in my left hand are going to change. So I'll keep you updated on that. It's oddly empowering learning to use your left hand. It's something new for me. And there is a strange sense of almost achievement, really, as I manage the basics. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Jennifer. I'm a long-time practitioner of chirology and palmistry. I'm based in Johannesburg. I've actually written 4 books about the topic and currently working on a very exciting new book all about the gypsy markings, or rather the traditional Indian markings such as stars and squares and crosses and triangles and so on. And I so look forward to sharing that with you. I'm so grateful for this book that I'm writing now because I'm also a mosaic artist and now unable to use my right hand. So all my emphasis in terms of my creativity is now pouring into the book. So in the not too distant, I'm hoping early next year, I'll be presenting the book on the traditional markings on the mounts in the hands. In the 5-element system that I am particularly steeped in, which is called 5-element chirology, we ascribe rulership of the chi element, or rather the ether element, to the thumb. Chi and ether, I've mentioned many times, I intermingle the concept. I love the play on the word chi, and it really just represents God consciousness. Chi represents life force, essentially. One of my favorite ways to read the thumbs, though, actually comes from traditional palmistry, where they talk about the base of the thumb, which is the Mount Venus, representing the desire principle, the I want. Then we come to the first phalange of the thumb, which is in traditional palmistry known as the area of the reasoning, and in the 5-element system is governed by water. So we have here a capacity, a kind of a gathering of concept, of ideas and so on, before finally the expression out into the world through the tip of the thumb, which is the I will, and in the 5-element system is governed by fire, which is of course the masculine active doing energy, the expressing out into the world. So whatever's going on in the thumb is linked to I desire, I can, and I will. When I have clients, generally I'd ask them to hold both their hands up in a very as natural a way as possible, and then I will look at what this angle looks like, whether it's under 45 degrees, between 45 and 90 degrees, or even in some cases wider than 90 degrees. And what we do notice often as hand readers is that the two hands differ. And if the person is right-handed and they have a very wide angle of confidence on their right hand and a narrower angle, a sort of a 45-degree-ish looking angle on their left hand, then it's very accurate to say to them, it looks as if recently your confidence has up-leveled, as if something's happened to give you a more sense of confidence. If the inverse of that is true, and that their left hand is wider and their right hand is narrower, then again it'll be quite accurate to assume or to presume that something has recently happened that has in some way diminished their self-confidence. This angle does change from moment to moment depending on how confident we're feeling. So really we could say that if it changes from moment to moment, it's talking about where we're at in current time. People who habitually hold their thumbs close to the palms of their hands are really revealing an element of emotional vulnerability. This is not such a good look when it comes to a great deal of confidence out there in the world. Angles that are between 45 and 90 degrees, so that would be about 45 degrees, 90 degrees would be there, would indicate balance, assertiveness, extroversion, whereas closer to the hand indicates introversion. This shows more extroversion, confidence in the person, open-mindedness in the person actually, and a lot more generosity in the person. You know, they've got to give. There's an energy, let's say a source of energy to give. And of course, that would be modified by the size of the Venus mount and so on. With angles that are open wider than 90 degrees, This, interestingly, is not such a positive marking. In a sense, it does indicate a great deal of confidence. The person's very assertive, extremely extroverted, very active or action-orientated, perhaps is a leader in some capacity. There's a lot of energy there. But unfortunately, it also can show a very dominating type of person, as well as often, or I say often because I haven't often met people with that particular feature, but I have observed rather a reduced level of spiritual refinement in the owner of such incredibly wide thumbs. In next week's video, I'll continue talking about thumbs. I imagine it will continue for about another 8 weeks, possibly, depending on whether I merge different topics or not. And please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and don't forget to comment below if there's anything you'd like to ask about, comment on, let me know, and I look forward to sharing more with you about my wonderful 30-year journey with hand reading. Bye.